Good morning, Harold. This is Matt Brandt. How are you?
This is who?
This is Matthew Brandt.
Oh, okay, Matt.
Good. How are you doing this morning?
Well, I've just finished shaving and uh, getting some more pills into my stomach.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, that sounds good. Um,
Well, it's better than not getting anything.
that's true. Yes. Uh-huh. Well, hey, when it's convenient, I would like to
Yes.
talk to you about your experiences in World War II. I believe I talked to you perhaps last week and said that I'd like to
Yes.
ask you a few questions. Is this convenient, or would you like me to call back? You mentioned you were shaving. Should I call
Oh, no,
back?
I'm sure it's not going to take that long.
Well, you never know.
Well, shoot the questions.
Okay, sure. So, you served in what was then called the Army Air Corps. Is that correct?
Uh, well, yes. In fact, I was in training, and it was just what did they call that then? It was a training uh, company, and they really didn't have any fancy name.
Uh huh. Okay, and were you drafted or did you enlist?
No, I was drafted. Yes, to start with, yes, I was drafted.
Okay, do you remember about when that was?
Oh God, I would think that it was probably during the month of May, and the year is the problem. And I don't think I can. Anything I would give you would be a guess, and it would probably be wrong.
Oh, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, but I believe you were drafted before COD, right? Before my father?
Yes, yeah, right, because I was the older.
Oh, right. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, and I at one time he said that he chose the army because you had gone into the army, and I guess so he figured, well, he could probably do that as well. Um, so you mentioned training. Could you tell me more about that? Was that part of your job during the service?
Well, to go back a little further than that, yeah, I was, of course, going through the basic training situation that everybody went through, and then they had some of the people were called air cadets, and they had to, if you were chosen as an air cadet, you did your flying lessons, and uh, you were paid, and you were paid the uniform. And then they had, for mine, because I hadn't finished the college degree, I went through as an aviation student, which meant that they paid my insurance, paid for my clothing and everything, and I even got flight pay for when I was training. So that was the difference between air cadets and air students. I was an air student.
Okay, good. And where did you receive that training? Where were you physically?
Well, let me see, where do we start? Well, a lot of the just the basic training, not flights, but just basic Army training. Most of us done in Florida.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in fact, I think I heard a story that you stayed in a civilian hotel there. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, tents and columns. Yeah, we we were living.
Oh, that's good. How long were you in Florida?
On and off, I spent a good deal of time in Florida, and I would, if we're going to put it into weeks or months, I would say probably I spent like 2.5 months, 3 months, basically in Florida doing other things other than all flight training. It was also some ground training and what have you.
Okay, yes, see, so did you, what was your position in an airplane? Did you, were you overseas at all? Were you flying
At that point, I was overseas after the training had been completed.
Uh-huh. And where did you go overseas?
Basically, it was to the Philippines.
Oh, okay. Well, when did you get to the Philippines?
Oh God, I can't tell you.
Well, all right. Well, let me ask: was it before the war ended or after the war ended?
Oh no, before the war ended.
Uh-huh.
The war was still going pretty much high steam at that point yet.
Pretty much what?
It was a going war at that point.
Ah, yes. Uh-huh. All right. So, what was it that you did when you were in the Philippines?
Well, at that point, I had not entered the basic flying training at that point, and I was called what they called a wire chief, which had to do with the telephones and what have you. And it was all communication stuff.
Ah, yes. Uh-huh. So, were you on the ground or were you in an airplane then when you were the wire chief?
No, this is pretty much ground stuff.
Uh-huh.
At that point.
All right. So, and I assume there were a lot of different types of aircraft that would fly that you were the wire chief for. Is that correct?
Well, there wasn't a lot of different aircraft at that point in time. I've forgotten which were the popular ones, but there were 2 or 3 different fighter planes and also bombers. So there was quite a array of aircraft.
Ah, right. Yes. Uh-huh. Did you have, were there any of the big bombers there, the B-29s?
Yeah, well, they were scarce, but occasionally one would land at the base that I happened to be in at the time. But basically they were smaller bombers than what we're thinking about in the B-29s and those.
Ah, right. Yeah. So, what were your duties as a wire chief then? What types of communications would you have with the aircraft?
Well, most of it was the aircraft with being in touch with land facilities.
Yes.
And we had to keep the lines open, and if there was repairs that had to be done, we were on top of it and getting people assigned to fix the problem.
Okay. Was it anything like air traffic controllers, these days?
Well, yeah, but that was a little different setup than being in the wire chief for the they did things a little different than we did in the part that I was involved in.
Okay, so it sounds like as wire chief, you say you kind of coordinated repairs if they were needed, kind of got those going. Is that correct?
Yes, right. And made sure that you got the right people going to the a general, do it this way or do it that way.
Uh-huh. All right. Do you have any particular memories that you can share, or any stories that kind of stand out?
Let me see. Well, we would a lot of times have to follow the infantry people in and see what they were doing with the people that they had to fight against, and make up some ideas of our own. And it was pretty much of an open type of a warfare, if you will. Some of the companies did it one way, and another company would do it another way. But basically, they all came back together.
Yeah. So when you say you would follow some of the infantry, does that mean that you were at airports or not at airports?
No, we were mostly then in the field.
Oh, okay. And in the field is, with your job as a wire chief, kind of coordinating repairs, would the aircraft have a space to land near you or not?
Normally, we would be on the edge of a field, an airfield.
All right. What was your rank when you were in the service?
Well, I was discharged as a master sergeant, and had been a master sergeant for quite some time. When I went into the Air Force for training, I was a corporal, so I got flight pay even when I was in training and flying an airplane. And then the promotions came pretty fast. When you get to be a master sergeant, that's as far as you can go as an enlisted man.
Oh, right.
So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed life as a master sergeant.
Well, good, yes. So what's the difference between a master sergeant and a sergeant?
Well, never a master sergeant got 6 stripes.
Oh.
A regular sergeant, most of them have 3. So occasionally you'll find one that has maybe 3 or 4. But all master sergeants have 6 stripes.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Cod was a sergeant, so, his uniform has 3 stripes.
Yes, right. Called the buck sergeant.
Buck sergeant? Was that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was I guess you'd call it a slang term for that rank.
Oh, for my father's?
Buck sergeant.
Okay.
3 stripes.
Ah, all right. Yeah, I didn't know that. All right. When were you discharged, or when did you get back to the States, back to Iowa? Or maybe I could ask, did you get back before Cod did, or after Cod?
I think he got out before I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, per his papers, I think he made it back to Iowa about maybe February of 1946.
That probably is true. Yeah, I would guess that's as close as we're going to get.
Right, so, do you have an idea for maybe how many months you were in the Philippines while the war was still going on? And what were some of the battles you were involved in, or that your aircraft was involved in?
Well, at that point in time when the war was still on, I was not flying an airplane, only as a training student. So I never did fight any part of the war as an air pilot. because I was still in training.
Ah, right. Yes. Uh-huh.
But I would go out on field trips, and it was like training and like the war, except you weren't being shot at.
Well, that's good.
And you weren't shooting at anybody normally.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm going to look at my list of questions here. Were you pretty close to the action? Like, were a lot of the planes kind of shot up when they came back?
Oh yes. That was a common occurrence. That the plane had been shot at and had bullet holes, and some of them didn't come back.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Would many of them kind of crash when they were landing at all due to either being shot up?
There was some of that, but normally the pilots were fairly lucky at that point and sat them down without busting them all up, and it was a little safer than you'd think it was.
Ah, okay. Well, good. So, with your duty there, did you also have some time off? And, if so, what did you do with that time off? Or, where did you spend it?
Well, every place you went, they had beer bars.
Ah.
So you could drink beer.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, they had card games going and other contests of one kind or another.
Mm-hmm.
There was always something to get involved in.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember some of the areas in the Philippines where you were, like, some of the cities you were around?
Oh, God, let's see. Yeah. It's not as easy as you think. Because we did a lot of moving.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And the names really wouldn't mean too much to us right now.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know what kind of an answer to give you on that.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, what's the capital of the Philippines? Is that Manila?
I never got to Manila. No, I did not.
Uh-huh.
But I got to see a lot of, or be in a lot of places in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Even though they weren't the ones you'd normally hear the name mentioned about.
Ah, yeah.
We covered a lot of territory.
Ah, right. Yes. Uh-huh. What sort of friendships did you have with the other people in the Army? I assume you worked together quite a bit. Did you have some pretty good friendships develop?
Oh, yeah, there was no friction, let's put it that way. The only thing that I did notice, once I got to be a master sergeant, it was like playing politics. The next thing, some of the lower people with like corporals or buck sergeant, if they wanted a Jeep, they had to sign a Jeep out in the morning and sign it back in the afternoon, which was kind of a pain in the ass. And it got to the point where they would appoint me, the buck sergeant or the corporal would come to me and say, hey, if you would do this for me, I wouldn't have to sign that Jeep out in the morning. I could sign it out the first of the week and keep it all week like it was my own.
Mm-hmm.
And, some of them you'd give in, and some of them you had a few things that you had to get from this other guy. It was kind of childish, but it worked.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. All right. Were you able to keep in touch with, your family or whoever back in the States here? Did you write letters at all? Or?
Well, there was always the mail. Other than that, that would be about it. Other than mail, occasionally you could get on a phone line, but not normally. So it wasn't something that we could, just pick up a phone or do whatever and get in touch with people back home.
Oh, right.
It wasn't quite that easy.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Your division or your unit, was there a particular name for that division? For instance, I know Cod was in the 8th Armored Division. Was there a particular designation for your branch?
I don't think we did. I don't think so, man.
Uh-huh. Okay.
If we had a name, it wasn't commonly used.
Ah, right. Uh-huh. Okay. So do you recall where you were when the war ended? Was that still in the Philippines?
I'm trying to place that now. Yeah, I was still in the Philippines, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And it went pretty fast from there on. Things moved, once the war was over, things really moved fast.
Ah, right.
You're in one place today, and tomorrow you could have been 200 miles away in another place where you'd be discharged or working on a discharge.
Ah, yes. Uh-huh. Did you ever go to Japan?
Yes, but not only on board a ship. We got caught in a hurricane over in near. I'm trying to think of the damn place, Okinawa.
Oh, okay.
We got caught in the storm. We had to beach the ship. It wasn't a big battleship, but it was a fighter.
Was that a...
No, we weren't laid out. I mean, we had to stop, of course, and had damage, but that was it. We didn't get sunk or anything like that.
Oh, okay. So, you went to Okinawa, but basically you had to go there because of the hurricane?
Well, no, we were being transferred to another island, and this hurricane caught up with us.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a pleasant one either.
Did you see any of the damage done in the war? Bombings. Did you see any of the towns that had been destroyed?
No, not normally. You'd see a lot of things that were destroyed, but as far as the knocking off a corner of a city or something like that, there wasn't too much of that. In our particular field, we would take on smaller units and pretty much wipe them out. So it wasn't a pleasant thing, but our boys were active.
Oh, yeah. I think you said you'd take on smaller units and wipe them out, meaning smaller enemy activity. Is that correct?
Yeah, or the kind of fighter. Did they have tanks or big stuff like that? And tanks weren't a popular item over there because they all got bogged down. So it's. I don't know how to describe it to you, really.
Okay, yeah. So the people you were fighting against, was that like both infantry and aircraft?
Most of it at that point in time was infantry. for field artillery.
Oh, okay. So the damage that would happen to the American aircraft, would that be due to anti-aircraft fire? Is that what they had?
Yes, mostly, I would say 90% of the damage was from other aircraft firing at our ships, our planes.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I know the Japanese had a fighter called a Zero, correct? Is that what you were fighting against?
Yes, right.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was a pretty fast little airplane, too.
Right,
They
yeah.
did their damage. A friend of mine that I went to school with there in Waukon, in one weekend, shot down 3 Japanese planes.
Oh. Ah, all right.
He was a king for a long time after that.
What was his name? Do you recall?
Yeah, Fred O'Reilly.
Fred O'Reilly. Okay. Yeah, I
And
wonder.
his father was a teacher at Waukon High School for a while.
Uh-huh. Ah.
I forgot what he taught, but he got 3 of them, and he was very proud of it, and I don't blame him.
Oh, right. Yes. You know, I wonder if his name is up on the. You know, there's a memorial right at the courthouse of you know, people who had served there. Did Fred
Well,
O'Reilly?
there probably is. I would think there might be.
Did he survive the war and come back home?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Oh, good, good. All right. Yeah, you know, at that memorial, you've got your name on a brick, and I believe it does say Master Sergeant there. So that's good.
Well, that was better than nothing. You know, there wasn't that many Master Sergeants.
Right. Yes. Uh-huh. Okay. Let's see. I'm still looking through my list of questions here. So, what were you doing before you were drafted? What was your line of work? And, you know, did you live in Waukon?
I was working in the hardware store there in Waukon.
Which hardware store?
Stock.
Oh, okay.
Glenn Stock.
Glenn Stock, okay.
Stock hardware.
Ah, right. And then what did you do after the war? Did you go back to the hardware store? Or?
A very short time. I went to work for a logging company. And the bad part of that story is that I was paid by the hour, but only when the saw was running and cutting lumber. And I found out the saw wasn't running 100% of the time.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't get paid 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't keep that job very long. Then I went to work for a manufacturer of heavy equipment, and I really did well there. I was a top salesman and really living it up.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I recall you doing that line of work. See, was that in Wisconsin and later on Florida, or what?
Well, at one time I had all of Canada and half of the United States was my territory.
Mm-hmm. What was the name of the company?
The Bantam Company.
Bantam, okay. Yes, and so what did you do for them, you know, when you say you had all of Canada, half of the U.S., what did you...
Well, they would probably, in half the United States, my part of the sales force, dealers, probably was 15 or 18, I've forgotten how many. But they were dealers that we worked with and helped them make the sales. I was very pleased at the work.
Oh yeah, yeah. Cod said that you did quite well. So,
It was nice. It was nice earnings. Let's put it that way.
well, good, good. Yes, All right. So, looking back on your wartime experiences, are there any big memories you have, or any messages you'd like to give to people my age or younger about World War II or anything like that?
I don't know. That's a kind of a tough one. Uh, I think there's so many different reactions to what you go through. It's really hard to say much about it.
Yeah. Could I ask you what you felt about the bombing of Japan, the atomic bombs? Did you think that was good because it ended the war quickly, or not?
Oh, yes. In fact, we had our campground was right near to where they dropped the atomic bomb on, and it did a job. No wonder they called it off and said, "Here, we've had enough of this stuff." The Japanese are saying that
Right.
because that did end the war.
Let's see. You mentioned.
It was a mess.
Yeah, you mentioned your campground was near there. Was that when the bomb was dropped, or like you got there afterwards?
Yes. In fact, we felt the shock on the ground when they dropped the bombs.
Mm-hmm. So, were you at a nearby island at the time, or were you actually in Japan?
Oh, we were in Japan, and in fact, after the bombing, I would say the next day after the bombing, and most of the fires were out, you weren't allowed to go over there, but we didn't know any better than that, so we just loaded 2 jeeps up and we made our rounds around to see how much damage it did,
Uh-huh.
and it did a lot.
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely. Do you recall what city that was?
Oh God.
The atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah, Hiroshima rings the bell.
Uh-huh.
There was a couple of different names that were being used, but right now I can't name them.
Ah, right, yeah. Yeah, if you look at the pictures, that was massive destruction.
Oh. Excuse me.
So, was there any concern about like radiation levels there, or you could get sick from the air you were breathing or anything, or?
You're fading a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess I'm asking if there was any concern about maybe breathing the air over there, after they dropped the bomb, or getting radiation from that.
Well, I could hardly hear you though.
Okay, hang on. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think I've got most of my questions answered. Is there? And I'll probably call you again at some point and maybe ask you some more. But is there anything more you have for me at this point?
Not off the top of my head, Matt. I can't.
Uh-huh. Well, hey, I do want to say thank you for your service. I appreciate, living in a free country, and I'm glad that both you and Cod, helped allow that to happen. So thank you for helping us out.
Well, it's no problem. Don't feel bad if you're not hurt. You know, if I can help you, I'd be glad to.
Oh, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, hey, thank you again, and I hope you continue to do well here. I hope you continue to enjoy life in Florida. And like I say, I'll probably talk to you again because I enjoyed our phone call. Thank you very much.
Okay, anytime.
Okay, thanks again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take care of yourself.
You bet, you too. Okay, bye.
All right. Bye-bye.